Yo, what's up, man? This is $2 Fabo, Bank Fabo, and shouts out to the Big Factz Show, man. Hey, Mark Ward, man, the podcast, the Big Factz Show got its first 100,000 subscribers. Hey, man, congratulations to y'all. And for anybody who looking at it, this show is right now on Spotify, Apple, and all DSPs. Oh, what's happening there? Fabo!
So
That's
you
their new
know,
joint.
say it again, bro.
I was saying that's their new joint. It used to be like this meeting is being recorded. Now it's just
Oh,
saying
nah,
recording in progress.
bro. Shit, we gonna keep this part. I went on my Siri. I went on everything that got voices, and I changed the accents.
Oh, word.
I changed it all to South African female. That's a category. Some of them
Shit,
jumps only got like 6 categories, and one of them is South African as one of the accents you can
and,
choose.
and even they, some that could be a white person too.
Oh,
A
it's no,
South
no, it's
African
definitely
female.
a white person.
See, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That shit is crazy.
that,
South
that
African female be a straight white person.
yeah, they're not Cameron Diaz. What's it? I don't know. I forgot her name. The chick who played the murder chick. I don't know. I don't be knowing these people names. Fuck all that shit. But you start putting up these Riker Island stories. We got one episode available for the on the audio feed. But what motivated you to start doing that?
I mean, I be watching those Rikers Island stories that everybody like. You know how YouTube is. You subscribe to one Rikers Island story, dude, and they just send you about 20 other dudes. So dudes be telling those Rikers Island stories. I be getting hyped, man, because I'm always telling Rikers Island stories, except for not on YouTube. So I said, fuck it, man. Let me throw a couple of these stories out there because I got a bunch. And peoples that I know be gassing me like, yo, son, nobody's stories can fuck with your stories. You should start putting your shit up there. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna start putting some. I'm only gonna put a few up there. Then I'm gonna do up north stories too. Then I'm gonna do Brownsville stories. Shit that happened in Brownsville when I was a kid. You feel what I'm saying?
Word,
Uh,
but like on the one I listened to, the one that's in the audio feed for all the Stitcher, Spotify, Apple subscribers, that was 3 videos on YouTube. The link is in the description. Check out last video channel. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. But at the beginning of it, you seem like you have been reluctant to do those at first, and you wanted to make sure that you wasn't trying to glamorize going to jail. So YouTube ain't sent me too many Rikers Island story videos. You thought that was necessary? Do some of them shits make it look like it's a cool thing to do or something? Because I mean,
I
every
mean,
footage I seen of Rikers made that shit look like someplace I like. The Cleve Browder story made man. I will readily admit I've been incarcerated, but I ain't never been as nothing as go hard as Rikers, and I've been in
yeah,
federal joints. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, like I said in a new joint that I uploaded today, I was like, a lot of that shit be an act, my nigga. Like, you feel me? Like a lot of dudes, a lot of Rikers Island shit, that should be wolf tickets. Like that should be a lot of dudes fronting and hummer stunting and shit like that. So you know what I mean? I was making that point too, but it's like, believe it or not, like, to adolescents and shit, like Rikers Island was fun. Like motherfuckers was doing shit to stay on Rikers Island as long as they can instead of go up north. You feel what I'm saying? Because people just having fun on Rikers Island. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So dudes don't be wanting to leave because shit be like niggas be having all type dudes be doing all type of crazy shit. So when you
So
an adolescent, you be like, yo, I'm this shit is fun. Like, you feel what I'm saying? To some motherfuckers, you feel me?
So you ain't never done no out of state time. That's odd because like that's basically the opposite. Usually you can't wait to get out the county jail or the local jail or get in the prison system because it's usually much more freedom in prison.
Yeah, it
That's what
is.
I've encountered.
It is, but motherfuckers be in New York, so they get 100 visits. They getting 3 visits a week. You feel what I'm saying? Dudes is getting a weed up. They, you know what I mean? So dudes don't be wanting to go 6 and 7 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours to New York because all that shit gonna stop. You feel what I'm saying? So dudes be trying to stay on the island for as long as they possibly can, so they could keep rocking them visits and listening to New York radio and watching New York TV. You feel what I'm saying?
What's the furthest you was ever from New York driving wise? I'm not,
I was in
incarcerated, not in life.
Yeah, I was in jails that's like 5, 10 minutes from Canada, like Camp Gabriel, which is not a camp at all. Just says camp. That shit was one of the wildest jails I ever been in.
Shit, usually shits that say can't be the worst because like I don't like them open bed shits.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I know
this shit.
one stories you was in like a dormitory where y'all was in beds, not in cells, huh?
Yeah, that's how like half of Rikers Island is like dorms, and half of that should be like cells. You feel what I'm
See, bro,
saying?
I guess this sounds counterintuitive. I prefer cells because them bed joints,
Hell
man.
yeah,
I end up
hell
not
yeah.
getting no sleep.
Yeah, I
I
like
can't sleep
cells better
comfortable in
too.
them shits.
I like cells better too. But you know, when you was like when I was on the island and shit, like I was in dorms for so long, I wasn't used to no cells. But
Right.
then when I got into some cells finally, I'm like, nigga, I don't never want to be in no dorm. You feel what I'm saying? Like keep me in a motherfucking cell where I could sleep at night with my shit locked. I ain't gotta worry about a nigga. Cause that's another story I'm about to tell. I'm about to tell a story how when I first came to Rikers Island and I was in the medical office and shit, I seen a dude come in with his head stabbed up. You know what I mean? Pardon me. And he had bandages all over his head and he was red bleeding and shit. I mean, and the dude was like, he had seen somebody that he knew from the streets, and dude was like, "Yo, son, what up, son?" He was like, "Oh shit, yo, son, what up? Yo, what's good? Yo, what's up with your sister? Yo, word of mother, I was just thinking about your sister yesterday." This nigga got bandages on his head, holding the stop it from bleeding, coming in there with a CO to get stitches. He's too busy talking to another nigga like, "Yo, son, what happened?" Nigga was like, "Oh, this shit, you know, yo, this ain't about nothing, son. I was in the dorm, I was asleep. And nigga sent the doja at me and nigga stabbed me in my head like 4 or 5 times while I was asleep." Nigga was like, "I ain't worried about that shit." He said, "I'll go back to the dorm or blow that nigga fucking head off." But yo, how your sister though, my nigga? Yo, you should pass on my information. I'm like, yo, is this nigga leaking blood from his head, asking a nigga how his sister is in the streets? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, where the fuck am I at? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that was my introduction to C-74. Nigga came in with his head leaking, talking about, "Oh shit, yo son, what up, my nigga?" All happy and shit. I'm like, nah, bro, your head is bleeding. You understand what I'm saying? You talk about you asleep, and a nigga ran up on your bed and stabbed you in the head 4 or 5 times while you was asleep. Nah, my nigga, that's where I'm going. Shit was wild, but I'm gonna tell that story next. You know what I mean? But yeah, that shit is
Man,
barbaric. But like I said, niggas do need to be compensated for that shit though. On some G shit. Like my nigga, they was ODing on us. Like they need to, I need money for that. Like you crazy? Box too. Like niggas had me in now they outlawed the box for adolescents. Niggas had me in the box at 17 years old. You feel what I'm saying? Like I need some bread.
keep going with that for a minute. I'm gonna grab a book to talk about why they need. I mean, I guess reparations would be the proper term, but
They really do, bro. They come on, bro. They already proved in a court of law that I mean, solitary confinement damages the mind, especially the young developing mind that's under 21. You understand what I'm saying? Like niggas had me in fucking boxes. Know what I mean, so keep lock. Know what I mean, like, come on, my nigga. But solitary confinement, like the box, like, come on, my nigga. Niggas, I did 30 days in the box. Know what I mean, at 17 years old. Like, I mean, the box is different. Like I said, the box is way different from the Bing. Way different. Right, because the Bing is noisy and fun. Know what I mean? The box ain't nothing fun about the box at all.
you know how you put me on the Cuz, which we talked about. I think I don't even think we got the audio or the video up for that yet, but we'll get that up. This me and Laz talking about this great book he put me on to. But have you ever heard of this, John? I'm trying to peel the price tag off. Not I got it for $1.50, not the front, but so y'all can see it. This joint's called New Jack Garden Sing Sing by Lee Conover, and this dude was a journalist, right?
Gotta get that. I gotta get that. It's about Sing Sing.
But man, yeah, but listen, this dude was an investigative journalist, and he didn't think that he would make it through the background check, and he applied to be a corrections officer, and I'm pretty sure so he didn't think he'd get hired because they find out he was a journalist, but he did, and he just tell all the dirt. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
like
My man just came home from doing 15 in Sing Sing. Sing Sing is like the max in New York that everybody wants to be in because it's the closest to the city.
Yeah, nah. So he's a real live. I was making sure I didn't get my facts straight, misstrued. He was a real live journalism, and he undercover embedded himself as an officer in Sing Sing and wrote about everything he saw from, obviously there's no way you can remain objective in that experience, but the raw gritty details. You know what I mean?
I must get that.
And people need to read that when they're thinking about voting for if you believe in the electoral process, voting for candidates who are in favor of mandatory minimum sentencing. That's why, without getting all too political, I could never be excited about Biden, in particular, or ex-prosecutor. Like that type of shit scare me because like that shit is a system that produce. If you read about what goes on in here, like that Sing Sing shit, I'm sure you know more about it than me, but that shit sounds. I mean, if it was war, I don't think they'd be allowed to have enemy soldiers and no shit like that, how it's described in here.
Yeah, Sing Sing is a wild spot. I mean, but like I said, Sing Sing is a dope spot to be in to niggas who got some time because, like I said, that shit they call that shit New York with a roof on it. Nobody wants to get shipped up to Clinton, Shawangunk, and all of these Collins and all of these joints that's them shits is all the way up in the mountains near Buffalo and Canada and shit like that. So
Hey, what they mean by New York with a roof on it?
When they say that, they just mean like, yo, nigga, this shit is just like New York City, except for you can't leave this building. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Real talk. But it's like New York. Niggas is selling, getting their money, you feel me? Smoking, niggas doing whatever they want to do in Sing Sing. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you a made nigga, you feel what I'm saying?
So have you ever been in a zone where you couldn't even like smoke tobacco?
Now when I was up north, that wasn't outlawed yet. So I know that shit is hell now, because when we was there, we could smoke a goddamn cigarette. You feel what I'm saying? You could buy cigarettes in commissary, all of that. So
can't they hit the e-sticks and the vapes in New York?
I don't know, man. I don't even think you could do that no more. I'm not sure though.
Hey, that's good though that you don't know about that shit. You know
Word, I ain't been in the system in a minute. I'm proud of that.
You know how you know my favorite quote from The Wire always was when Avon was like, "Nah, I don't know about no jail shit. I don't want to know about no jail shit." And I always thought that was like the point of it was like to not go to jail.
No doubt, but if you in a motherfucking game, if you in the streets and you never go to jail, something is weird. You understand what I'm saying? Like some niggas, very few niggas stay so low that they don't ever go to the penitentiary, but you in them streets, my nigga, you doing dirt. Like eventually you gonna see the can, my nigga. You might not see no prison time up north, but you gonna go to the county jail and fight a couple of cases or something, unless your money is just up crazy like that, where you bail out all the time. But if you a street hood ghetto motherfucker.
See, I don't know how it is in New York, but almost everybody I know who got nabbed up, it was rarely the result of like some wild investigative work or no task force or no shit. Most of the time it was like somebody in the nose got pinched and snitched on a bunch of people. Or if it was like, like a big deal crime, a motherfucker, like a murder or some shit, a motherfucker ran their mouth too much and people called like the crime solver shit.
Like I was telling my
like
man,
hardly anything was like the result of police work, like outstanding police work.
Police don't be knowing shit. Like they always locking up the wrong motherfuckers. Like they be having a nigga in jail for some crazy shit. You feel what I'm saying? And while niggas is out in the street for some light shit, a nigga be in jail, and niggas out in the streets doing all type of crazy, rapes and child molestations and and shit like that. Niggas don't ever go to jail, but they'll be having a nigga that's selling weed on the block, had a nigga in the feds. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, how you feel about Trump pardoning all them, like hood legends and Kodak Black and Lil Wayne and all that?
I mean, we all know that's not the work of Trump. That's the work of that chick. I can't remember her name, but the black chick that she put a list together of motherfuckers that need to be pardoned.
Well, word around the campfire, a couple of them Jones was straight payola. Like supposedly Kodak Black Camp dropped like 20, like a 20 mil bag.
I don't know, man. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't want to speculate about
You,
niggas
you
bragging.
think he might be trying to, now that the white supremacy shit, that he probably ain't never gonna get elected. He be too old. You
He
think he gonna
wanted, he
try to?
wanted, he
You want
wanted,
the
he
love of
wanted.
the black community back?
Of course, of course.
Because like people, the first thing I really remember about Trump was him throwing Mike Tyson fights. You feel me? And then I remember him
But you
always
know,
rappers always saying his name and him being on the jump with Tony
yeah,
Yayo and shit.
but you know what I mean, my nigga. It's like that. It's like that famous conversation in "Do the Right Thing" with Spike Lee and the son of the dude from the Pizza Shop. Like, you feel me? Like, you could like black celebrities and still be a racist, my nigga. Like,
Oh,
motherfuckers
for
be,
sure.
you feel me? Like, niggas be racist as fuck, but you know they like black athletes and you understand what I'm saying, and movie stars and shit. They
But they don't
cool.
really like them. They like their performance.
Yeah, but they don't like a motherfucker like me. I pop up, niggas will be calling security on me like, get this nigga out of there. What the fuck is this? You feel what I'm saying? But if I'm a celebrity motherfucker, that's why so many black motherfuckers try to be celebrities, bro. Searching to be treated like a human. You feel what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers you gotta be a celebrity as a black motherfucker to be treated as a fucking human in this country. You understand what I'm saying? It's like Chris Rock was like, yo, my neighbors is Jay-Z and a dentist. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I had to be one of the greatest comedians in the world, and this nigga had to be one of the greatest rappers in the world to live next to a dentist in the suburbs. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So
Right. And homeboy
Trump,
probably in like the top 1,000 in his profession.
yeah, Trump was looking at Tyson like, yo, I got this specimen, this animal specimen that knocks people's heads off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that should be exploitation too. Like, I mean, so Trump always been a racist ass motherfucker because at the end of the day, you're a rich white motherfucker that you ain't never really mingle with too many motherfuckers from minority communities and ghettos, just rich black motherfuckers. You might have bumped
Like
shoulders with
supermodel
some,
chicks and shit, like Naomi
yeah,
Campbell
like
and shit.
yeah, but you know what I mean? You know how in the Central Park, when the Central Park Five got accused of that rape,
He
that nigga
took
was
that
trying to
ad
get them
out.
niggas. That nigga was trying to get them niggas the death penalty, like for a rape, like you feel what I'm saying, and assault.
Hey, so
This
not to
nigga,
switch it up on you, but that was that big Netflix shit, and you know homeboy who made the crack documentary?
um, my bro Samson Styles. I don't know if he made the documentary, but he's in the documentary. I'm pretty sure he got his hands in there, but he's
Okay.
one of the main dudes speaking. Samson Styles, he's one of the main dudes speaking in the joint. You feel what I'm saying? And son is a Brownsville and an East New York legend, Brooklyn legend. You feel what I'm saying?
Could you sum
Before
his story up briefly, like the elevator pitch?
um well basically Samson, son got his story online too. It's crazy. He got his little documentary of his life story, whatever. But basically, you know, son was a notorious gangster from East New York, from pink houses, which is like close to Cypress projects, like where Uncle Murder and shit is from. Like pink houses is like they projects that they always beefing with. You feel what I'm saying? Cypress and pink houses. He from pink houses. But son is an OG nigga, older than me and shit. You feel what I'm saying? But
How
he
close do
played
these places be to each other?
a couple of blocks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
And you
shit be
told me
across
that
the street.
sometimes them shits be decades.
Huh?
You told me sometimes those beats be decades
Decade, yeah, them shits be forever. Like, yeah, that should be. I mean,
between humongous apartment complexes that are right by each other, sometimes next to each other, sometimes across the street.
yeah, like, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, bro, that must be hella stressful. Because the time I spent in New York was on in like Harlem or like rich people Brooklyn, like gentrified ass shit near like markets and shit.
Yeah,
But
see,
shit that was like that in like the 90s though. You feel me? Like shit that had been like that
yeah,
from like hippie motherfuckers.
see, the media be lying and shit about places and shit, trying to make money in the city too, because it's like, Harlem, like you got the east side of Harlem, and then you got the west side of Harlem. Both of them shits got very dangerous projects, like Harlem. You feel what I'm saying? Like you got parts of
See,
it.
I didn't find Harlem to be that dangerous as
I'm
far as
saying
like if
it
if if, if,
depends on where you
if
go.
you move right.
It depends on where you go because, like you said, it's a lot of gentrified parts of Harlem. But Then you have places like the east side of Harlem where people don't know. Like with the east side of
You mean
Harlem,
like El Barrio and all that shit?
yeah, like Spanish Harlem, Foster Projects, you know, like
Taft.
like they got the second highest murder rate in New York City. First is
Damn. See,
Brownsville.
I
First
spent
is
some time
Brownsville
there, bro, and I never really felt the vibe like that. It felt to me
because
like you had to be acting, or
they
you know,
have
like
a
just
lot of they got the most housing projects besides the Ville. After the Ville, East Harlem got the most housing projects. So the east side of Harlem is a little bit more dangerous than the west side. Now the west side, you got, you know, 40th, 39th, 41st, them areas up there, Broadway and like that shit is wild. Like you'll get murdered over there. St. Nick projects, you feel what I'm saying? Lincoln projects, that's probably like the worst projects in Harlem. They call that shit stinking Lincoln, the police. You feel what I'm saying? Police told me that one day I was getting arrested. He was like, yo, Dykeman is at the time, Dykeman was a little bit laid back. He was like, yo, I got a good indictment. He was like, it's nothing like stinking Lincoln. We be down there every night with a shooting. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, Lincoln projects, motherfuckers be getting killed out there. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But the east side of projects, the east side of Harlem and shit, like a lot of niggas don't know that shit is murderous. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers get killed over there. It's dangerous because there's so many projects and it's so poor over there that it goes down crazy. So people think Harlem, they be like, you know, is a little bit more laid back than New York. Really, statistically, it's not true. East Harlem got the set and if you check statistics in the last 10 years, it's been neck and neck with Brownsville. It be Brownsville and East Harlem going neck and neck on who got the highest murder rate in New York City. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's certain blocks. Like New York is funny like that. Like you could be in a murderous neighborhood, like for an example, Brownsville, Brooklyn, murderous, right? But then it's like 2-3 blocks behind the project's called Co-op. It's like 2-3 blocks behind there. That most of the apartments and all of that shit is for people who work in the hospital and shit like that. And it's like a two blocks where it's really nobody getting killed over there. You understand what I'm saying? But you still in Brownsville. But those 3 blocks over there, nothing happens. So you could go over there, chill, mind your business, nothing won't happen, but you still in Brownsville. But then if you go 2 blocks up this way, you in a war zone. You understand what I'm saying? So this shit be like that, my nigga. So it's all about where you hang out at. Like I know this producer, right? This is a funny story. This producer dude that I know, he's a white dude. He was from like Sweden or Switzerland or something like that, right? I forgot where he was from. He was from somewhere across seas. So son used to be trying to get up with rappers in New York all the time. So he used to come check me. He used to come like, he'd be telling me, yo, I'm going to check this rapper and that rapper. So I'm like, bro, stop going to projects like that, checking rappers. You understand what I'm saying? Because
what was his name?
I can't remember son's
Was it
name.
was it Sempi? Was it Sempi?
Who?
Sempi or some shit like that. He made
That
songs
sound,
for like 40 Cal and
that's
Noe
sounding kind of familiar, my nigga.
and he knew DJ Lazy K and all that.
Probably, my nigga. He was my nigga though. Son used to make beats. He had dope ass beats. You feel me? He used to wear a bucket hat all the time.
I ain't never seen the Bam. I just know him if it's the same person because he made a bunch of shits with Dipset. Then he started like Lazy K Europe.
Yeah, I think that's the nigga. I swear to God, he a good dude.
Yeah, he definitely came to Harlem a few times. I know that.
Yeah, so one time he had came to go see my son Fal. You feel me? My son Fal was living in Kingsborough in the projects. Kingsborough is the hood. You understand what I'm saying? So I used to tell son, stop going to projects, random hoods in New York, bro, because you're rolling the dice. And eventually you're gonna crap the fuck out. You're gonna ace out. You understand what I'm saying? And sure enough, he went to Kingsborough one day and he was out there trying to find my man building and all of that. And little niggas ran up on him and clicked on him. I don't know if they robbed him or whatever. I don't know what happened, but I know them niggas pulled out hammers and was like, yo, who the fuck is you, my nigga? Yo, where you from? You understand what I'm saying? And niggas backed out hammers on son. You feel what I'm saying? And he lucky they didn't kill that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Because Kingsborough is the type of projects that you can get killed on one of those by one of those buildings, and nobody won't see shit or say shit, my nigga. Period. And that's why I used to tell son, I'm like, listen, you're not from out there. You going out there looking like a retros 80s dude. You feel what I'm saying? Like you sticking out like a sore thumb, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that. And then when you do that, don't do it at nighttime. And he kept doing that shit. And sure enough, niggas clicked on him, but ain't nothing happened to son. You know what I mean? He wasn't no scary nigga. He still used to be going to hoods and shit after that. But I told son, stop doing that, bro.
And that's not how you move. Like, you know, when I went to Harlem, you know, that's so ironic we talking about that. You see that live on Lennox jump behind me? Like the one time I had Mino meet me before I went anywhere, you know, like meet me at the car or whatever. And then another time I had Freaky Zeke meet me, you know. So like anytime I was in like a dangerous jump to try to do like some media shit, I'd be accompanied by somebody from like the moment I step foot. Cause I wouldn't go around nobody way. Like I don't know how they be going there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's a free country, so you go wherever the fuck you want to go, but you just got to be smart enough to know which hoods are, you know, niggas.
But I'd have cameras on me. You feel me? So I want to be moving right from the giddy.
Yeah, you can't be getting crazy popping up with cameras. Like sometimes I be in the Ville and I be wanting to catch B-roll of certain shit for videos that I be filming. And then I look around and be like, I can't fuck with no cameras over here right now. Niggas might think I'm police. You feel what I'm saying? Coming through filming niggas.
Motherfuckers be hungry. You know, like a camera can get some dough on the snatch tip.
Yeah,
I seen bloggers in DC at little events get their camera snatched out front. Swear to God.
Hell yeah. Niggas are snatched.
Like crackheads and shit.
Them shits is expensive. Like you in niggas hoods with $1,000 cameras. You got $1,000 camera. Some niggas they know what time it is. They're like, yo, that shit costs a rack. Like you in the hood with a rack. Like niggas will snatch that shit up and go get 600 from the pawn shop from that shit. Like you feel what I'm saying? Niggas will go buy some coke to flip with that shit. Like niggas is trying to get a come up. You feel me? So I be telling niggas that too. But you know what I mean? New York is like that, my nigga. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like, and like, let me tell you the difference between like, see, like Harlem, like New York, right? Like niggas in Harlem rob too. Like niggas get robbed in Harlem and shit like that. But it's like this. Uptown, I've been living uptown for a long time. You feel what I'm saying? Like uptown, it's not like Brooklyn. Like uptown, like my man had me laughing. My man was staying in Harlem. He was like, yo, son, you know what I mean? Shit laid back out here. I'm like, yo, son, don't sleep. I mean, shit happens in Manhattan and Harlem and all. He like, yeah, son, but he like, yo, everybody wear chains out here. He like, uptown, you see everybody with a chain on. He's like, niggas, you can't wear no chains like that in Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, son, I be wearing my chain in Brooklyn. He like, yeah, son, but if you come out the hood, if you come out a building in the projects and you got a big chain on in Brooklyn, everybody be quiet. And they had me laughing because it's true. He's like, yo, everybody get quiet. You come outside, let's say you just come out a random project building with a chain. Even if you live there, niggas gonna be like, everybody, you gonna hear a pin drop like, this nigga got a chain? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Real talk. In uptown, you can wear jewelry, you can have fly shit without worrying about a nigga running up on you and robbing you every two, because it's not petty like that uptown.
And you know what this chick told me about Harlem one time? She was like, Harlem dudes is different. They be wanting to kill you. They be having beef with each other, like wanting to kill each other, but then they still hold the dude, open the door for the dude mother carrying groceries.
Like I said, it's different breeds of Harlem. It's different areas of Harlem and different, like East Harlem niggas is certain ways. Then you got niggas that's like from, lower, like 106th Street and 7th Street, Manhattan Avenue, Money Ave niggas. And you got motherfucking niggas from that straight from the projects. And you got some dudes they never lived in the projects. They was block niggas and building niggas. They different. Project niggas and block and building niggas is totally different. They're total different breed of people. Like when you live in the projects, you just raised different and you think different about everything. And you very rarely fuck with dudes that's not from the projects. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a different culture. You understand what I'm saying? Blocks be wild as fuck too. Them buildings be wild, but it's just a different culture from the projects. You feel what I'm saying?
Speaking of, not good.
Now go ahead.
You know, speaking of fucking with dudes, I was looking. I can't find it now, so I've been looking on my phone for. But I seen you got 2 projects I didn't know about. What's up with this blue cheese jump?
Yo, that's a rapper for my projects. Like Sungo, he got a couple of aliases. He go under the name Dot Fonzarelli. Know what I mean? The Fonz, and he go by Blue Cheese. So you understand what I'm saying? But I think Son is officially gonna run with Dot Fonzarelli for his official artist name. You feel what I'm saying? But that's just a rapper for my projects. That's my man. Son is
Okay,
Son is
that's why
nasty.
I was looking for, because I was just about to ask you who's Dot Fonzarelli. Okay, so that's the same.
Yeah, the Son is the same nigga. Like even on that tape, you hear me saying, know what I mean, shouting out both Blue Cheese and Fonz. You feel what I'm saying? But Son is we from the same projects and shit. And I seen Son doing the music thing when I first heard Son and seen Son in videos of Son and shit. I was like, yo, this nigga is nasty. And I ain't even know Son was. I mean, him and his brother is both nasty. They both rap. You understand what I'm saying? But Son be just be going extra hard. Know what I mean, with his rap shit. You feel what I'm saying? But Son is nasty from my projects in Howard. I mean Brownsville. You feel what I'm saying? And Son is just a beast, my nigga. And I think he gonna pop off with this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because Son just be writing his ass off, recording his ass off. Know what I mean, my nigga swag is up. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like Son just a dope ass artist. You feel what I'm saying? Dot Fonzarelli out of Brownsville. You feel what I'm saying? Like Son's a dope ass artist. Real talk.
And I see you got the that album you put up with Foul on Spotify. It say 2020, but is that a 2020 album?
That album, yeah, we dropped it in 2020, but it's just a collection of shit that we did over the years. You feel what I'm saying? Me and the nigga Fab. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Our hottest joints, they don't got everything. We got a couple of new joints that's fire, and we working on a part 2. But that shit right there is just a collection of joints that we came together and did over the years. You feel me? Like we wasn't able to get up and make so many joints. So the ones we did, we like, yo, we gotta put an album out with this shit. Like, you feel me? Cause like every time we come together and do a joint, that shit be flames. You feel what I'm saying? So
And he's the
yeah,
one with the wild, interesting story we got to get on here to tell one day, right?
definitely, definitely. Gotta bring Son on here one day for sure. For a
Are
fact.
we allowed to talk about everybody you've collaborated with?
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
why not?
So what's up with my man? What was it? It's Vane, right?
Yeah, Vane. I mean, me and Vane got a whole bunch of shit together, man. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, me and Vane ain't worked together in a minute. You understand what I'm saying? That's my nigga. I still got love for Vane, but you know what I mean? Vane started fucking with that Trump shit, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, like you see that shit I got posted on my page. That shit is deep. Like, nigga was saying some shit like, nigga, Salem witch trial. It was like Salem witch trial style of media deception that we've been getting with this dude Trump. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga been really making motherfuckers, like, you know what I mean, think a certain kind of way, man. And it's like some motherfuckers, man, they got caught all up into that shit, my nigga. I ain't never that caught up into politics. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the ghetto, my nigga. The shit
And
been the same.
he had the God's truest warrior post on Instagram. That shit, I don't know. That's just wild. That shit's wild to me.
Yeah, man. I learned a valuable lesson, my nigga. They say don't discuss politics and religion with people, but in today's day, it's impossible not to discuss politics. You feel me? It's too much shit going on in the world to not discuss politics. And the bottom line is, my nigga, like, you know, I
Oh,
don't give a fuck about a Trump, a Biden. I don't care about none of these niggas, my
I
nigga.
feel
Like
I
that
feel
nigga said.
sorry for the people that waste their energy on that shit. I feel all that shit's a colossal waste of energy. I feel all them motherfuckers the same.
I mean, if niggas put that same type of energy they put into, know what I mean, Trump and shit, if niggas put that same type of energy into music, like niggas would be superstars. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't what's strange about shit like that is, my nigga, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit that much, man. I'm gonna be all hype like that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm from the ghetto, my nigga. It's been the same for decades and decades, my nigga. You feel
And
what
it's
I'm
been
saying?
and
I
no matter
ain't
who is the president, right?
I ain't never seen no change. Democrat, Republican, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Obama.
I mean that that
Oh,
that ain't that ain't quite true though, bro. Because you have seen changes for the worse. Because you seen
yeah,
mandatory minimums and shit.
police killing niggas. You know what I'm saying? But even mandatory minimums, like even without mandatory minimums, the jails are still gonna be filled with black motherfuckers and minorities. You understand what I'm saying? No matter how the law is set up, no matter how sentencing guidelines is set up, that shit's still gonna be packed with motherfucking nothing but blacks and Hispanics,
But look,
motherfuckers.
all these prisons is upstate New York, and they guarded by upstate white dudes, right?
I mean, it's some black COs, but it's mostly white COs. But it's even deeper than that, my nigga. Like, do we
Hold
know?
on. Well, the point I was going to ask you though is like, so theoretically, there's these upstate populations, and I know some of them have to go to prison. Where do they go to prison at?
They also go to they also go to state New York State, but you know, is I didn't see that many white motherfuckers in the 6 years that I spent in prison. I had it was white motherfuckers in there, but you know, it's mostly blacks and Spanish motherfuckers that was in there. You feel what I'm saying?
What would
And
the white dudes' charges usually be?
that I don't know. Niggas had regular shit. Some dudes had shootings and robberies and shit. You know, niggas do shit in their neighborhoods. You feel what I'm saying? And they get caught up. Like it was Indian, Native American motherfuckers locked up too. Niggas for New York reservations that they caught cases outside of reservations and shit like that or whatever. And they was in the same jails as us. You feel what I'm saying? It was Asian motherfuckers. It's a very small population of Asian motherfuckers, but they was there. You understand what I'm saying? I seen some Asian niggas get busy and tear niggas' heads off. And it was a small ass population in there. You feel what I'm saying? But
That one dude
um
always be on Vlad TV that like shot Jim Manager or whatever.
yeah, like I was probably locked up before he was locked up though. You feel what I'm saying? But I was locked up with I mean straight Chinese motherfuckers that they barely even spoke English. You feel what I'm saying? And they locked up. And they was in them Chinese gangs and shit in Chinatown. Niggas be busting their gun. You feel what I'm saying? And niggas was up north. One time I seen them niggas, I'm gonna tell that story too. One time I seen them niggas tear a nigga head off in the yard. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, niggas said, them niggas was selling weed. Chinese niggas was selling weed, and somebody took some weed from them and didn't pay them. So, you know what I mean? They was feeling a certain kind of way. Like, yo, we got to bust our hammer, or niggas gonna think they could rob us anytime. So, you know what I mean? They ran down on a nigga who took the weed from them, cut the nigga, bang. And the Chinese kid cut his own self by mistake, cutting him. Boom, that's how he got caught. And then shit popped off. One of his mans that was there popping off, he went to the dorm and nigga stabbed him in his eye with an ice pick. Real
Damn.
talk. One of the other Chinese dudes, they stabbed him in his eye with an ice pick, but they went out though. They popped off in the dorm, whatever, but niggas ran up on a nigga, stabbed a nigga in the eye with an ice pick. You feel what I'm saying? One of the Chinese dudes. I don't know if he lost his eye or not. They said he did, but I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But shit was crazy. You know what I
That's
mean?
rough.
But
You remember the Chinese dude on King of New York? You remember King of New York?
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, people. I was arguing with somebody not too long ago. Friendly argument. They was like, "Yo, you know, King of New York was dope, but it was unrealistic." You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah, it really wasn't though. Like, it was Hollywood. It was some, you know, acting that was a little bit Hollywoodish, but you know, I'm not sure if Frank White was supposed to be Irish or Jewish in King of New York. You feel me? Like I'll be trying to find out in the movie, is this dude supposed to be Irish or Jewish? You understand what I'm saying? But it was a point in time where Irish ran the Irish ran Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
You
like that
feel me?
gangs in New York shit, right?
Yeah, now after that, like I'm talking about like in the 60s and 70s. You understand what I'm saying? The 60s and 70s, the Irish ran Hell's Kitchen. You feel what I'm saying? Midtown Manhattan and them areas where it was millions of dollars in drugs and prostitution and shit like that. It was the Irish that ran that shit. You feel what I'm saying? And Italian in cahoots with Italians and Jews and all type of motherfuckers. But um also like in that movie, you know, Chinatown, bro, niggas don't know. Most of the heroin was coming from Chinatown.
Triads and shit. They was
Yo,
some
if you read
dangerous
this book,
motherfuckers.
if you read this book, this is book. Oh man, you gotta read this shit, kid. It's called Alpha. It's on my Instagram page. Alpha something, I can't remember, but it's about a narcotics cop and his time in the 80s on Avenue D in Alphabet City in Lower East Side. Where in the 80s, Lower East Side had like the highest murder rate in New York City in the nation. They had like one of the highest murder rates in the nation, Lower East Side in Manhattan, in New York. It was an open drug market and heroin shooting den and just outrageous. This is a movie that you could look up. Is a Puerto Rican movie. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about Puerto Ricans um going to war with the Italians, I think, or whatever. But the shit is crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And the bottom line is that shit was heroined out crazy. No, it's about the Puerto Ricans going to war with the Colombians. But I mean, the shit was heroined out crazy. And this cop gives his account of, working in on Avenue D, late 80s, early 90s type shit. And his stories, my nigga,
Avenue D. I think I might have read this book. That sounds familiar.
It might not be called Avenue D. The book is on my Instagram page.
No. I know the book ain't called Avenue D. I kind of remember a book that sounds like that taking place on Avenue D.
It's about Avenue D, and that shit crazy, bro. And in that book, basically, son was such a crazy narcotics cop that he ended up becoming a Fed. He did so much.
He was straight laced, or he was like,
yeah, he was mostly straight laced. He was mostly straight laced. You feel what I'm saying? Like he was. Yo, that book is deep, bro, because you know what I mean. He speaks about how just because he was Irish, niggas promoted him to detective. Like he wasn't on the beat for too long because of just for being Irish, they made him a detective. You feel what I'm saying? And then he started working with the DEA. Then he started working with the feds. You feel what I'm saying? But the shit he talked about in that book about, niggas that was getting money out there, he was basically talking about how the Lower East Side motherfuckers that was getting all of that dope, they was getting that shit straight from Chinatown. He was like, yo, they had a connect where every certain amount of days, they will walk from their projects over to Chinatown and meet these niggas on a certain block and just exchange some of the money for some of the most purest heroin, that China white shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like them niggas or whatever the fuck it was called at the time, they was getting some of the purest heroin money could buy straight from the Chinese. The Chinese was just feeding the projects. You feel me? So people in New York that don't know no better, they think Chinese niggas, they ain't into nothing. Like, know what I mean? My nigga, this city, everybody into something. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, everybody got a history. Chinatown, Little Italy. You understand what I'm saying? Fucking everywhere. Everybody had their hands in on this shit. But in that book, they was breaking it down how the feds found out that all of the heroin was coming from Chinatown. And these niggas from the Lower East Side, Puerto Rican drug dealers, Puerto Rican and Dominican drug dealers, they was making those connects over there. They was making those connects, running down on them like, yo, we need that, nigga. Like, what's good? You feel what I'm saying? And they was getting that super dope. And it was causing wars out there because it was so much money being made on Avenue D with the dope shit. Motherfuckers was just getting murdered left and right over that shit. And in that book, it's crazy. They talking about like motherfuckers. Wow, shit, man.
That shit just shows you why having a racist mindset is never effective as just a metric of efficiency. Because like you're talking about law enforcement, right? And they never would have thought that like, why would they never would have thought that Chinese dudes would have had heroin? Every person of every group is capable of every action, and there's a criminal element. I mean, it's just so like all these things are productive to getting the job done or counterproductive to getting the job done.
Yeah, and yo, listen, let me tell you, in that book, they say that too. Like in that book, it was like some cops was like, nah, these motherfuckers from the projects is not connected with the Asians. You understand what I'm saying? These is project ghetto motherfuckers. Nah, bro. Niggas was connected with them niggas and they was getting millions. Millions. You understand what I'm saying? And it's an ill dude in that book who the nigga speaks about in that book as a certain dude that he was getting mad bread and he was after him. He was after this nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And once the dude found out that the feds was on him and shit like that, or whoever was on him, That nigga just disappeared out the game completely. You understand what I'm saying? He disappeared out of New York, packed his shit up, bounced, never did nothing for so long. That's why they giving you jewels in this book. Like he was under federal investigation, the dude. Like he was in the indictment. And during the time, he bounced. He just bounced and he never came back. He never came back at all, not even a visit. You feel what I'm saying? And they took that nigga off the indictment. You understand? And they never pursued him, and he never went to jail. And that's a jewel right there, nigga. So sometimes if it gets super hot, just bounce, my nigga. Bounce, bounce, and never ever come back. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what this dude did. And that shit was a happy ending because son had some bread. He just bounced. He's like, yo, I'm out. Period. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna stick around for wait for these motherfuckers to come. You
I
understand?
mean, it ain't no stats on who successfully get out the game because you know you don't know about them. That's how they successfully got out of it.
Real talk, real talk. But he was one of them, and he was a major Puerto Rican nigga that was getting major millions. You feel what I'm saying? Nigga found out he was under investigation. That nigga bounced forever. You feel me? But let me tell you some foul shit them niggas was doing in that at that time. The nigga was like, yo, he's working for the DEA. So somehow he had got the DEA to sign off on approval that any drug dealer that he ran that could not show his name on a car, they was taking them niggas' car. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so if, like, say you a drug dealer, you pull up, you got a brand new 500 Benz, but that shit is in somebody else's name, whatever. Niggas was running down on you like this, yo, let me see your registration for that car. If you couldn't show none of that, they knew you was a drug dealer from that neighborhood, they was straight impounding taking niggas' car. You understand what I'm saying? So he said he kept doing that, and eventually niggas put a hit out on him. Police, niggas put a hit out on that nigga like, yo, kill him. You understand what I'm saying? And niggas was running, yo, be careful. He's calling him Rambo. Say, be careful, Rambo. There's a hit out on you for towing motherfuckers' cars and confiscating niggas' cars. They're gonna kill you. He said, niggas.
Hey, hold up. Wasn't the cop on that one little Nas affirmative action story named Rambo? Is that just coincidental shit?
Every hood got a cop that niggas nicknamed Rambo. Like any cop that's just extra, that go extra hard locking niggas up, they call him Rambo in New York.
See, where I was at, they used to call him Super Dave. Like every little precinct would have a Super Dave.
Yeah, or RoboCop.
On some stuntman shit. Yeah, RoboCop T2 for a while. There was always a T2.
We call niggas RoboCop or motherfucking that shit. You understand what I'm saying? RoboCop or Rambo, nigga. But you know, this was the early 80s and shit, so Rambo was very popular at the time. So he was calling niggas. Oh, matter of fact, he was calling a nigga that because they say he looked like that a little bit, like Sylvester Stallone, but he was definitely.
Ironically, the first Rambo movie was like this man was wilding out on a bunch of cops.
Yeah, and then people call nigga Rambo Sylvester Stallone Rambo, period. But what's that movie that Sylvester Stallone did where he was the cop? Super famous movie.
Cobra.
You understand what I'm saying? So people knew him for Cobra probably before Rambo. Right? He did Cobra before Rambo, right?
Nah. I don't know. I know he did Rocky before Cobra.
Okay. Cobra is fucking hilarious. Like if you watch that shit now.
I used to have that, bro. When I got locked up by the feds for tax evasion, I had one of them knives from Cobras, and they gave me a charge for that shit because I was a felon, right? And they measured the joint all funky to make it like just past the legal limit of the knife joint. I remember that was like an addition to my charge and shit. And I just got that jump from like I was a bartender at this restaurant in the mall, and there was like a little comic book store, and I was like, oh shit, that's a knife from Cobra. And the band sold to me for like $25. I don't even know how sharp that jump was or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean? It was somebody who had the actual knife, or you talking about?
Like somebody just made a jump to look like it. Oh yeah, hell no, I wasn't actually the jump from Cobra, you know.
But tax evasion for what? Like what they were talking about? Mixtape shit?
Oh, nah. I bought a I mean shit. I got convicted of this shit, so it don't matter. I bought a dude's debt for some Bammers that was gonna get at the dude, but the dude was a doctor that lived in my neighborhood in Virginia, but he got embroiled with the wrong people in the city. And for the price of his debt, I got for a fraction of what it was. You know, he was fucking with it yay hard. This Bama gave me a boat. I traded him for a boat he had, and I had paperwork on the boat and everything, and I ain't filed taxes on the junk, and it was worth more than 10,000. So I got like audited, kind of, but then my name came up with like a concurrent drug task force and all this shit. And then make a long story short, out all this shit, I got a fucking ended up with a felony weed dealing conviction. So you know, if they pass some laws to get the nonviolent drug offenders, I'd actually be goody. Like my record would just be magically clean.
Crazy.
But yeah, I went through the whole little thing with the IRS and all that shit. That shit was wild.
My man got 10 years right now in the feds for a nonviolent offense. They ain't catch him with no drugs. You understand what I'm saying? Just got him on the phone talking to a nigga who was the connector, allegedly was the connector, whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
That conspiracy shit will get him the fuck up, man.
That conspiracy shit is unfair though. You understand what I'm saying? Because that shit be just hemming niggas up for too much time. That time be too much, my nigga. 10
Those
years for
cases
some
be
fucking
tenuous.
drugs. 10 years for some fucking drug sale? Like, come on, bro. Cut it out. Nigga, niggas fucking the fucking medical world, biggest drug dealers on earth. You see these niggas admitting that they had motherfuckers prescribed opiates that they didn't need, or whatever, oxycodone or whatever that they didn't need. These niggas is drug dealers. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So why them niggas ain't doing 10 years? Like, why my man doing 10 years?
Bro, you want to hear a straight drug hustle scam? This is that prescription weed in Florida and shit, right? And the shit fire, whatever, right? It's got the doctor name and all that shit on it. But like, you gotta renew your prescription, so the doctor's got to re-examine you to see if you still need weed at like $250 to $500 a wop, you know. And you go there, and the lady just talk to you for like literally like 5 minutes. You wait a half hour, the lady be like, "Oh, so you got trouble sleeping? Yeah, we'll continue your prescription." And it's just a straight up racket. You know what I'm saying?
Straight racket, my nigga. It's just a drug. It's selling drugs. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Selling drugs. Like, I mean, they tired of drug dealers getting all the money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why they might as well get some of the money too.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the
You know what I'm
medical complex is getting money unfairly off of me, so the state can sell me drugs that I went to prison to before.
Shit that real talk. Shit that I've sat up on Rikers Island, nigga. Some of them stories, like that first story I was talking about, how I ran into the nigga. I was sitting on island for 2 ounces of weed, nigga, with a parole violation. You understand what I'm saying? But still, like, why the fuck do I gotta go sit up in jail with murderers and killers? Because I got caught with 2 ounces of weed. Like, you feel me? Come on.
Look at this
nigga.
shit. This shit got Brandon and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit made to a point where I can't even support that shit too much. Cause y'all niggas is like, come on, y'all niggas locked me up too many times for that, my nigga. Y'all niggas locked me up for weed 100 times. I've been put cuffs on for weed. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas
I like not being stressed about it with when people knock on my door, because you know I got kids and shit, so I don't want to be given no reason for child. But you get a prescription, you good, you know.
No doubt. But it's like, that's why in a minute, like, how can you tell who got what? You gonna walk up on a nigga, yo, let me see if you arrest the nigga with the prescription, without the prescription, and then you leave the nigga with the prescription. Get the fuck out of here. You understand what I'm saying? But it's getting crazy like that, my nigga. It's getting crazy, bro.
So what's good? What's good with the music? What's going on right now?
Yo, bro, you know what? Since I dropped these last couple of tracks, I purposely have not created anything. You know why? Because I've been listening to a whole bunch of new music lately, like that I don't normally do. You feel what I'm saying? I just been absorbing all type of new music lately. You feel me? And I've been staying away from creating. You understand what I'm saying? So that I could go through a metamorphosis. So I mean, I could have a new cocoon to crack out of. And the next time I get up in the lab or really get my recording bug going, I'm gonna be putting down some next level, different swaggy type of shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, so today I just hollered at my son, my producer, Casa One. No producer is greater. You feel me? I got a few producers that I fuck with heavily, but my main producer is Casa One, and I've been working with that dude for like 12, 13 years. You feel what I'm saying? So anybody who really knows my music, they know who Casa One is. But he's a producer from out of France. Doesn't really speak that much English. All his beats, when I get his beats, they all be in French. So I'll be having to retype, yo, let me send me that Dubois, LA, hula. I'll be having to say like that. You feel what I'm saying? And he be sending them shits. Or real talk, son is an animal. He's an animal. Trap beats, deep shit, R&B, Latin shit, reggae shit. He's just an animal. And 95% of his beats are sample free. So it ain't no clearing shit and none of that shit. You feel me? That's my son. Anytime I need to go in the studio, I'll be like, yo, bro, I need this beat, that beat, this beat. He'll send me them shits tracked out, wave files, bring bang. I go in the studio, I got everything tracked out. Whole lot, you feel me? If it's ugly like that, I need to really get the beat wrote down. But his shit already be mixed and crispy and delicious. You feel what I'm saying? So I just be slaughtering this shit. But he just sent me like, I just hit the nigga up like, yo, son, I mean, I need these 10 beats right here. So he just sent me those 10. You feel me? And then he just sent me like another 20 on the messenger, like whole lot. So when I get time, I sit back, I listen to the new 20. Like this dude be sending me so much beats that I be having beats on my computer for 2-3 months before I really get a chance to really listen. Like I might skim through them shits and find the 3 hottest joints right quick and take them. But then when I get some time to sit down and really listen to this dude's beats, I'd be like, yo, this dude is sending me this fire, bro. And I be feeling bad, man, because he be giving me like 200-300 beats in a couple of months' time. You feel me? And it's like, I can't possibly do all of those beats, but they be so hot. I be like, send them shits, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm sitting on beats right now, my nigga, where literally, I'm telling you, I could produce the next 5 albums for the 5 hottest trap, South, whatever artists is in, whoever, wherever they from in the game. Like if I had to produce 5 albums with the beats that I'm sitting on right now, I could put out 5 hit albums, my nigga.
What was you said you was listening to some shit? Was it anything that stood out?
I mean, I've been listening to a lot of fucking, Gunna and Young Thug lately. Fucking Mad, of course, I've been listening to Mad Roddy Rich lately. I've been listening to fucking just mixtapes and new artists on mixtapes, and you feel me? I'm just opening my musical palette. You feel what I'm saying? And just tasting different things, man, and seeing, what's going on in the world, man, because I be shutting myself off to that shit sometimes, like, you know what I mean?
Is that shit real about Kodak Black?
What, him getting pardoned?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actual fact. Him,
Man,
Lil Wayne, Harry O.
I guarantee he gonna drop a classic. Kodak Black is mad underrated. That little Big Pac jump where it got like his face on a little baby. Man, that shit is insanity. Like that's like a classic Southern mixtape right there. Like, and I fuck with several select of his songs. I fucks with Kodak Black.
Yeah, I hope that jail shit got him a little wiser. Some of these niggas is too young for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not that they not hot, it's that they too young for me, and I can't stomach listening or seeing them self-destruct.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, I feel like these niggas older brother. So I'll be like, yo, if I had that little nigga around me, he wouldn't be doing shit like that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I'll be giving that nigga knowledge of self in school and that nigga to the game, so he don't end up in the penitentiary and shit. So you feel me? Like, some of these niggas, they be dope, but I can't stomach to listen to because they too reckless, and I know they're gonna end up in the penitentiary or dead. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want to get attached to a nigga and then nigga get killed and shit like that, and I'd be like, damn, you feel me? So I just don't fuck with niggas like that.
Man, that could be any rapper now, though. It seemed like.
Yeah, but you know what? It's certain rappers that's exceptional. it's certain rappers that's just exceptional. Like they just fire, they spit. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep it real. Like Young Thug spit. Like
Yeah. Oh
he
yeah.
spit. He spit. You feel me? So a lot of some niggas, they not really that hot of rappers. Like you feel me? Like they on hot ass trap beats and shit, and they street niggas and thugs and niggas know who they are and all of that shit in the streets. But they not mad talented. Like
Yeah.
they
Word.
don't spit crazy. Like, but see, then you got niggas like Young Thug, Son spit. Like gonna spit. Niggas spit. So I'm opening my ears to niggas who, you feel me?
Young Dolph can flow like that. Black
You see, I
Youngster, man, Black Youngster, he be wilding. I fucks with Black Youngster.
yeah. See, I ain't get into too many motherfuckers yet. You feel what I'm
You should
saying?
check out
Because
Black Youngster videos. That is a highly entertaining young man.
yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I wasn't feeling that dancing on the table for executive shit though. I'm Gucci. I ain't doing that. I'm not getting on no tables dancing for nobody, especially a bunch of white people in the room. That shit was looking that shit was looking bad. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know niggas be out there hungry trying to get on and shit, but you know what I mean? They shouldn't have that shit's disgusting. Like I'm not dancing on no tables. You know what I mean? A couple of rappers did that shit that I saw get on tables and dance. I think the baby did that shit too. Like get on a stand on a table and then perform for motherfuckers in a room full of executives. Them niggas could suck my dick, them executives. You understand
So
what I'm
you wouldn't
saying?
do no Tiny Desk concert?
Never. I don't know about the Tiny Desk shit. I'm not too familiar with that. But I'm talking about that little performance in the room with a bunch of niggas sitting around the table, bunch of literally nothing but Caucasians sitting around the table. That shit don't look good. That shit look like a slave auction.
A minstrel
That shit,
show and shit. Yeah.
real talk. That shit look like, oh, here's the newest, latest black ghetto nigger. Let's see if he can entertain us. Nigga, fuck y'all niggas. Cut the check. Y'all hear from me when I deliver these recordings from the studio. I'm a recording artist.
So
I'm
you
not the
never would have felt with
motherfucking
like no
circus.
making the band type shit, huh?
I wouldn't have did. See, making it a band was a little different, man. But as far as all that walking and cheesecakes and I'm not doing none of that shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that, bro. Like, I mean, I'm
Just
in this to make music.
just
I'm
on
not in this for
GP.
nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I found that shit kind of silly. That's why the Chappelle shit was so perfect. Because, like, for real, if you really think about it, the shit was kind of silly in
Man,
relation to
that
making a
shit
hit
was funny.
band.
That shit was funny though, man. That shit was funny. That show.
Uh,
It was a funny fucking show
oh
though.
yeah, I watched that shit. I ain't go front. I fucks with making the band.
Niggas was scrapping. That nigga Dave Chappelle had me laughing. He was like, oh, the drama and the fights. Like the niggas be fighting on that shit. Them niggas was, oh yeah, that shit was dumb funny. You
And
feel what I'm
then
saying?
when he be puffy, he fall asleep when the band was carrying him and shit. Yeah, nah, that shit was
Oh,
funny
that's
as a motherfucker.
yeah,
Did
that
you
shit
ever
was
listen to
funny.
that album? I don't know nobody that had that jump. I saw that shit at Best Buy. There was like 20 copies, and there was like 20 copies the whole time that shit was on the shelf at Best Buy. And then just one day there was no copies.
Yeah, there was some nice niggas in there. Like E Ness was nice. Um,
He be on a
who was
couple of them Philly
Babs?
Dude
Was it
songs.
Babs? Was it
Babs
Babs
Bunny,
in that shit? Babs
Babs
was
Bunny.
nice. Babs Bunny was
She had a
nice.
couple jumps.
Who else was in that shit?
Chopper had a couple little jumps.
He had that nigga had a couple of joints, my nigga. But you know what it is after you watch that show, it was hard to take them seriously as artists because you
Yeah.
knew them too much. Like they was like you watching your brothers on TV, like you all up in their personal business. So it was hard to take them seriously as artists afterwards. But it was a masterpiece idea of a show, though.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That Bama Diddy know how to get a bag.
Yeah, but Diddy was he was ODing on them niggas though. Real
Yeah.
talk. But that shit was funny though. Real talk. But I can't do none of that wild shit. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm the type of nigga I ain't doing nothing. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't doing no. Niggas could be like, yo, Jay-Z, fucking Leo Cohen, and fucking Steve Rifkin is in the room right now. They want you to go in there and spit for them. I'm not spitting shit, my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing none of that. When I was young, of course I would do that. But now as a grown ass OG rapper, I'm not doing none of that shit, my nigga. You want to hear my music? Go put my name in on something. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not spitting live for no niggas. I ain't battling no niggas. Like, we battle this nigga for a deal. I'm good. He can have that deal, my nigga. I ain't battling nobody for nothing. The fuck
Hey,
is this?
hey, bro, my plan, man, I swear to God, I know I was delusional, but my plan was I saw the White Rapper show, right? And I was like, all these Bama's is trash. I could rap way better than any of these people. And I was gonna go to the White Rapper show too, right? And win that jump because I figured I just win it automatically because some Bama's was garbage like shit. I mean,
That's how like
shit.
that's how like 50,000 other white rappers was thinking when that shit came
But
out.
but 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 I was gonna take it a step further. On the last episode, I was gonna say, nah, I don't want the deal, and punch the Bama in the face and just walk out. And I figured they would have had to air it because like they would have done the whole series, right? And I figured this is like the mixtape era. I figured I would have been like the biggest free
What are you
agent.
talking about? Punch MC
MC
Search in the
Search,
face?
yeah,
That's fucked up.
and just roll
That's
out.
fucked up.
I mean, man,
Nah.
I was mad young and stupid and shit.
That's just dangerous.
But I was like, I could go right to G Unit. They signed me on the spot.
Yo, that shit funny, my nigga. That
Because I
nigga
mean, bro,
Search, man.
that's when I was fucking with coke. So like, I'd have ridiculous plans.
Who was on that White Rapper show again?
Persia, a dude that started being with like Lil White. I mean, Persia, nice.
Persia was nice.
Shout out to Persia.
Yeah, I know.
She
Persia.
put the dildo
Persia
on dude's
nice.
face. Yeah, I think Persia, my friend on Facebook. I think she cool.
Persia was nice. Who else was in that shit?
Some dude that signed a Lil White's record label. I forgot his name. The Irish dude. I don't really remember none of the other bands.
I don't remember that. That's fucked up.
Nice white rappers people don't know about. Like it's a dude Haystack. He's pretty nice. I don't know. I kind of like some. I thought Machine Gun Kelly low response to Eminem was more than what I was expecting.
Yeah, Machine Gun. You know, I dissed Machine Gun Kelly on that Conway diss. I just was hyped, so I was just dissing everybody. But Machine Gun Kelly kind of raps good though. That Eminem,
yeah.
that Eminem diss, he spit on that though. I'm gonna keep it real. He spit fire on that, but I'm gonna tell you who's even more fire than Eminem. I'm gonna tell you who spit. Well, white rappers spit even more fire than Eminem.
Who, like LP or somebody?
That Eminem clone nigga. You know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
It's a nigga that's an Eminem clone. That he looked just like Eminem and sound just like. Well, nobody knows how he looks, but he sounds just like Eminem. And he put out a Machine Gun Kelly diss before Eminem put out one. My nigga. That nigga. I don't know. He might be nicer than Eminem, my nigga. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
I ain't hip to that. I'm gonna have to check that shit out.
Let me find this nigga, man. This nigga, I'm telling you, this nigga is a fucking problem. Is it Logic?
I think he like part black though.
I don't know if it's Logic. I could be wrong. Let me see.
Logic look white though.
I don't think it's Logic though. I think I'm bugging out.
I remember when Logic was like first coming up on Maryland, like handing out mixtapes at clubs and shit. I ain't gonna front. I ain't like them Jones. That's why Machine Gun Kelly was nice for so many years because I dismissed him for early in his career. Like I even gave him a chance after the Bad Boy signing. I ain't like none of that shit. But I ain't gonna lie, I ended up liking much of his shit. He nice. That little Mac Miller last album was pretty good too, but no disrespect to him, I ain't see what all the fuss was about.
Who?
Mac Miller. God bless the dead and everything, but there ain't no Mac Miller shit I listen to consistently.
I'm trying to find this shit, man. I don't see that shit, man. I want to hear this shit now. Oh, see, here it is right here. I think this is it. Let me see if this is it. Hold on.
Come by Firestone Complete Auto Care and get our best deals on all.
Yeah. Which one of y'all made it? They got 2 million views. Like, what's going on?
See, I hate when people be acting like they going like it's the it's the track, and then it's some dude talking about the track.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. A
Reaction
reaction.
videos and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nigga, like, come on, bro. All right, I'm out of here. But I can't remember this dude. What this dude name is, man. But Eminem P. It might be Logic though. Does Logic sound like Eminem?
I don't really know. Not real. I don't think so. I think he be sounding sad or some shit. What? I mean, shit. So bad was be sounding sad.
He said he sounded sad. That's fucked up, man.
Well, I mean, like some people just be sounding some type of way. Like, bruh, like Mace. If you listen to that first album, which go hard as fuck, but bruh, he's the most paranoid rapper ever. Like, why you over there looking at me? Why my girl stand like listen to Mad at the songs and the hooks. Like them shits is paranoid as a motherfucker. I'm like, man, when he retired, I was like, no wonder his first album, he was stressed out like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna keep it real, man. I never was really a big Mace fan like that. You feel me? I liked Murder Mace on mixtapes and shit like that, but as far as like Mace albums and shit like that, that was a Harlem thing.
I ain't really like what he was talking about, and I mean the beats was I mean they was a little too happy for me sometimes, but like I appreciated the craftsmanship. You know, Eminem said that's his favorite rapper.
You said Mace is his favorite rapper?
Yeah. A lot of people, you'd be surprised really hold Mace's rapping ability and high esteem. Like
Mace is one of the best, man. Like he spit crazy. Like he's one of the greatest spitters from New York ever.
I think I might have shown this joint on here before. I don't know if I did or not. I don't know where it is now. But you know, I ordered on eBay. It just said Mace autograph CD, and it was like $5 with a certificate of authenticity. I don't know why this shit's so funny to me, but it came to me, and it says, "Jesus rules, Mace," with a big ass exclamation mark. And I don't know why. I just find that shit to be hilarious.
I don't know, man. But
I mean, at the time when I got it, he was on G Unit too, and he just put out like the Murder Mace jump. You know, like the Return to Murder Mace.
There's a lot of niggas that was on G Unit, man, for like 6 months.
Yeah, MOP, Mobb Deep. I mean, Mobb Deep had the studio album though.
What happened to that dude that was on G Unit, Hot Rod?
From Arizona. He was the first dude on G Note, which was gonna be like the more poppy version of G Unit. I don't think that worked out.
I mean, he had that joint with Mary J. Blige. Like that nigga had a joint with Mary J. Blige. Like that was big.
I mean, there was lots of jumps. I mean, to be real, 50 probably just spread himself too thin. He had the little book company, you know, all that type shit. You know, Spider Loc ain't really work out at least like in the way that the Game did.
I be getting dudes mixed up sometimes. Which one is the one that Game had beef with?
Spider Loc. I mean, he had beef with all of them, but Spider Loc was like the Crip dude who took his spot in G Unit.
I mean, which one the fight shit happened that got the lawsuit and all of that?
Oh, that's 40 Glock. That's Zoo Life.
It was 40 Glock that niggas jumped on camera and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like another offshoot.
But
But
yeah.
yeah. Shit, we got more than an hour, bro. Is there anything else you want to talk about or anything?
Yeah, we good. I mean, unless you want to talk about something else, you know, I don't never turn down the opportunity to run my mouth.
I heard that. No, I'm good because I'm gonna have to edit the end of this jump. But you know, I definitely, you know, I chill for a second, but I'm definitely about to start doing less jumps with anyone but you, and then the one jump I do with Homeboy on the weekend about the sports and shit. And that's just because like he a regular dude and he be getting sights from it. And you know, I knew dude when he was like in 6th grade and I was in high school and I used to like teach him how to play basketball. And then he grew up 6'5" and he was on teams with like Kevin Durant and shit. So he'd be like sights to do the shit. But you know, he never got past like the AAU level in high school, you know.
But yeah, them sports shits is official too though. Real talk. We gotta get it in, my nigga. But it's like, yo, man, you know, look, these long hour joints, like this should be like 5 episodes. You feel me? If you really want to make 4 foot, like we jump from different topics, and them shits be dope, like 20-minute segments of each. I know these niggas be out here like drink champs and shit like that. That should be.
Hey, yo, what up, yo? This is Sadat X, the Wild Cowboy. Congratulations to St. Laz and Mark Ward, OG, the hottest new hip-hop podcast, the Big Factz Show, for being added to the Apple Podcast and all other DSPs. Punks still jump up to get beat down. You know it. Word is bond. Once again, congratulations. Understand that St. Laz and Mark Ward, OG. Understand that they got them a new thing jumping off the Big Factz Show. Check that out. It's added to Apple Podcasts and all the other joints. The Wild Cowboy with a lot of style, boy. The great Sadat X, one of one.
Mark Waldo Ward, LAZ, you heard? Pottersville, Brownsville, Brooklyn, DC was good. The Big Factz Show, a.k.a. the Super Factz Show, where you get them super facts about the rap game. Nigga, tune in.